Happy Thursday. I have Neuro Coffee in hand and it is perfect. By the way, this is stellar this morning. I almost threw an internal party.
Getting the pelvis in the correct position and the
How do you know it's in the correct position?
Well, that would be a good question.
Okay. So there's no such thing as a good position, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to recapture adaptability. So we're trying to recapture the ability to change. We're not seeking out a singular anything. It is virtually impossible. Okay. Even if it was possible, there is absolutely no way to measure it. It's like when we talk about I'm going to throw up a little bit in my mouth, the neutral spine. It's like, what a crock. You can't tell. You have no idea where the spine is, right? You can't tell. So what we're looking for is adaptability. We're looking for changeability, the ability to move through space. And so if you chase something like that, good luck. I think I can show you two pictures of the same person where they have one leg that's early and one leg that's late. I might be able to do this. Oh, 1 second. Have a good day. So let me show you. 1 second. I got to let Sarah in. So can everybody see the leg? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. So Manuel, if you're looking at this, where do you think this? So this is a sprinter. This is a hurdler. She's a really good hurdler, but she's like 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. And but anyway, where do you think she is in this left limb? Do you think she's early or late? Can you see it?
Yeah. I mean, I think she's.
Take a shot. You got 50-50 shot.
She's early. She's more towards her heel.
Okay, so I want you to look at the angle of the tibia relative to the ground. Is it forward or is it vertical or is it laying back?
It's forward.
It's forward. Now look at her toes on the floor. You see the toes 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You see the curl. So that's concentric activity on the bottom of the foot. So she's actually late. She's in a late propulsive strategy on this side. Okay. Now.
Towards the ball of the feet. Okay.
Now. Can you see the other leg? You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. See how the tibia is going backwards?
Right.
Okay. So now you got an early foot or an early representation anyway, right? You see the difference? So again, when we're talking about, some form of representation, we're always talking about ideals, right? So this is what I'm talking about though. So as soon as you start, like if you break the knee to start your squat, that's going to be where you're going to start the late propulsive position. With the understanding that the stiffness of the constraints make it look different, but the rules are the same. This is where I think people get really confused I'm fond of saying that you're 99% water and 1% stuff, and all the stuff is made from the same stuff. It's just some of it's a little bit stiffer than the other stuff, and so it looks different, so people think it's different, right? But it's not. It's all the same, because the minute you start looking at everything being made from the same stuff, then you understand that, oh, it behaves the same too. So it follows the same rules. So a bone can twist, torque, elongate, and compress. Well, so can a tendon. Well, so can a ligament. Well, so can fascia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So it all behaves the same way. So the rules don't change. It's just that the shape of the constraint might direct it a certain way, right? But it's going to follow the same, like I said, it follows the same rule. This is why I don't use the C word. Core. Because if you think the one in your belly is any different than the one in your elbow or the one in your knee or the one in your ankle or the one in your neck, they're no different. They follow the same rules. There's nothing special about the one that's in the middle. Okay. So I don't give it special attention. I don't think it deserves its own word that is vague and meaningless.
So if you're advancing the leg and the arm at the same time, that's late. I thought it was early, both of them at the same time.
Early requires a delay strategy. If I'm advancing that side forward, it would be very difficult to create a delay.
That's very hard to digest.
Okay, is the left side, let's just say the left side's moving forward.
Okay.
Is it moving forward faster than the other side?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then it's not being delayed, is it?
No.
Okay, then if it's advancing, then the only strategy that I have there is to create the
okay. So it's only late, mid, well, not, yeah, late mid. Like it's not going through the entire phase of, yeah.
Narrow everything. You have a narrow window. The way that they create internal rotation is to lean over and limp, right? That's how they advance one side. It would be like walking. So here you go. Get 2 really big blocks of cement and wear them as shoes. Okay. And then try to walk and try to advance one leg and then the other leg and then the other leg. That's kind of how you would have to walk.
That's how I feel the people who live above me walk.
Wait a second. Hang on. So this moment has been recorded. Okay. So here's what I want to throw out here. You guys have probably noticed that Manuel's kind of like this stoic dude, right? He loves what he does. He's very serious about what he does, and he takes it very seriously. He just made a joke and he smiled on video, right? And I now have 2 representations that he is capable of smiling and laughing and telling jokes. So this is awesome for me. I love this because you're usually so like you're intense and you're serious, and I just love it when you sort of break character. That's awesome. Thank you for that.
To piggyback from what Manuel said about the heavy walking, those are people who are like their gravity's a lot for them. So those are like the stompers. They're people that boom, 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 like a T-Rex.
Yeah. So when you think about having all this really cool relative motion, it's like you're able to absorb and release the energy efficiently. So when you hear foot contact, that's an indication that you're not absorbing and releasing force. So we can take this concept into the gym. And so when you're doing box jumps with your athletes and you hear the slam on the box, it's like, okay, that's somebody that doesn't absorb force very well. So they're kind of telling you what their strategies are and what you might need to actually work on just by sound alone. So, because again, if I'm releasing energy as sound, that's energy that I'm not absorbing, which is probably what I'm trying to teach them to do in the first place, right? Does that make sense? So
Makes sense.
Yeah. So chances are, Manuel, it's like your upstairs neighbors probably need to work on some yielding action.
And that was just a light bulb moment for me yesterday. I was like, oh, it's so easy.
It seems that way sometimes.
It's too easy. I'm paying like all this money for a doctor.
Well, in concept, you got to put yourself in reality sometimes, right? Conceptually, yes. So if you know what your target is and you know what the context is that you're trying to create, that's the easy part. When we talk about the evaluation process of a client or a patient or however you want to look at it, that is the easy part. Like once you become reliable enough and you start to take good measurements or whatever, or your coach's eye is refined enough and you can see things, it's like, you know exactly what you want to do. That's the easy part. And then you got to work with a human. that doesn't understand anything that you're saying, that doesn't have a feel for what you want them to do, and then the execution becomes difficult. That's the biggest challenge that you have, right? So because, and everybody worries so much about the understanding, which is important. I want people to understand and have a model and a frame of reference to work from. But the bottom line is, it's like, how well can I communicate what's in my head to somebody that has absolutely no frame of reference to start with? There's the challenge. So again, it's like, it makes so much sense what, you know, with the turns and how to keep the head organized and move everything below. Perfect sense. Now try to get somebody to execute it. There's your challenge. That's going to be the difference maker for you as far as your level of success is concerned, because you can be the smartest guy in the room, but if you can't communicate with that individual and you can't get them to understand enough, because they're not going to understand, right? You just got to get them to understand enough that they execute and do enough of the right things to get the outcome that you know that they are potentially capable of, right? That's the hardest thing.